welcome, Commanders fans. Just want to go over the best available players on day 2. Of course, there's still many really good players. We have pick 61 for tonight, and that is it. And then the rest of the picks are going to be on day 3, which is Saturday. Don't forget Commanders Kings tonight. I probably won't be able to get on until around 8 p.m. I know the draft starts at 7, but I'll probably start around 8. We may trade back. Let's see what happens. So I did do a mock draft for the next couple for the remaining part of the draft. I did a mock draft myself on the Pro Football Network draft simulator. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now, actually, and show you. I decided to trade back. The Niners offered. Let me pull it up here. They offered pick 75 and pick 138. And I just gave them pick 61. So I gave them 1 pick to get 2 picks just to get more players in here. So now we have 6 picks. And I know people are saying quality over quantity, but I'm going to look at the guys that were available real quick. And at 61, like Alec Iamaner was available. Quinshon Judkins was available. Landon Jackson was available. And Braden Swinson was available. He went to the Eagles. I'm going to just name 10 guys that were available. Benjamin Morris in the corner was available. Alfred Collins. Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams, the wide receiver. Both wide receivers were available. Demetrius Knight, the linebacker, was available. But I traded back at pick 75. I got edge rusher Princely Umanmielen. I'm going to just say Princely U from Ole Miss. I do like Princely, man. He has a lot of production. So he had 17.5 sacks his college career. Pass rush specialist, 8.99 RAS score, 6'4", 244 pounds, out of Ole Miss. So I do like Princely. I like the production there. Let me look at his stats real quick. But that's something that stood out to me was Princely. So we get our edge rusher, 6'4", 256 pounds. Let me pull up his numbers here and his stats. 10.5 sacks at Ole Miss his last season, 7 sacks at Florida. His senior, his 4th year, and then 4.5 sacks in 2022. There were some other stats that I found about Princely as well that I do want to bring up real quick. And then the other picks that I had were pick 75. Now, my draft's a little wonky. It is a little wonky. I'm not going to lie to you. I have... Where is it at? I have DJ Giddens at pick 128, the running back. So we get our running back out of K-State, DJ Giddens, very shifty, really good spin move, explosive, can catch out of the backfield. Not terrible in pass protection. He does give you that explosiveness. He's a very patient runner as well. Runs a little upright, but I like DJ Giddens coming out, man. So I think he would be a good change of pace running back. 9.78 RAS score. I mean, every running back in this class has like a really good RAS score, except for like Cam Skattebo and maybe Devin Neal. But other than that, everybody's RAS score is gonna be very high. Everybody ran like a 4.445, really like a 4.40 yard dash for the most part. But yeah, the write up for Giddens is Giddens combines good vision and patience with strong acceleration through the hole, make him effective between the tackles and in open space as a receiver. He shows reliable hands and the ability to create mismatches against linebackers. But he's a very physical runner. He loves that spin move. Like he uses that spin move to get out of tackles. He is really good. He can make a guy miss in a phone booth, and he can cross you over like an Allen Iverson type crossover and make guys fall. Like I forgot who they were playing, but it looked like he broke somebody's ankles just making a juke move one way and then ran the other way. So I do like DJ Giddens, 6 feet tall, 212 pounds out of K-State. Then I got Orondo Gadsden at pick 138. That was from the trade back with the 49ers. The tight end, 6'4", 243 pounds out of Syracuse. He had 73 catches for 934 yards. Now, I get it. 6'5", 243 pounds. He's more of a move tight end, a receiving tight end. I know people don't want us to draft a tight end, but Ben Sinnott, the clock is ticking for him, in my opinion. We'll see what he does, but he wasn't able to get on the field. I just feel like Orondo Gadsden is just more talented as a receiver than Ben Sinnott. I don't want to give up on Ben Sinnott already, but that's why I took tight end. We had an extra pick, so it's just when you have 6 instead of 5, you can kind of roll the dice on BPA and just on talent. Then at pick 205, I got Andrew Armstrong out of Arkansas, who's a tough receiver, really good with contested catches, had some really big plays on third and long plays where he converted first downs. He's elusive, he's shifty, he can break tackles. I'm not going to call him a possession receiver, but he's a guy that's going to move the chains for you for sure. He caught 18 of 29 contested targets in 2020. That's what I'm talking about. He's tough at the catch point, really strong hands as well. 6'3", 202 pounds. So he gives you some size, gives you some height. So I do like Andrew Armstrong. I think Andrew Armstrong, not a lot of people really talked about him until the later part of the draft. 78 catches for 1,140 receiving yards as well, which is really, really, really good. I think Isaac Tesla was on that team as well at Arkansas. So I do like Andrew Armstrong. The last guy I got was Isis Waxter, who I'm not familiar with at all out of Villanova, but he was just BPA corner at the time in the 7th round. So I just went with Isis Waxter out of Villanova. I think he had a really good RAS score. He had a 7.49 RAS score, 6'1", 209 pounds as well. So those are the picks that I got. He had 3 picks. So he only has 13 pass breakups in 5 seasons and 3 interceptions, which is not great. But he has nearly 2,000 college career reps and primarily lined up at outside corner in college. He's a physical player as well. So we certainly need that. But just looking at the board anyway, guys that are going to be available, Quinshawn Judkins, he might be at 61. We'll see. Trayvon Henderson is not going to be there at 61. We know that for a fact. He's just not going to be there. So just looking at the best players available, Femi from UCLA, I don't think he's going to be there. Benjamin Morrison is intriguing if he does fall to 61. Braden Swinson, the edge from LSU. I do like him. JT Tiamaya, JTT, I'll just call him that, from Ohio State, the edge rusher. So there's a good amount of edge rushers that are still available. It's just like, are they going to be there at 61? Are we going to trade back with a team and go back to like pick 75, like I said, with the Niners and pick up another pick? Is that something we're going to do? Jordan Birch from Oregon, Ashton Gelati, who had a top 30 visit, Kyle Kennard, who was SEC Defensive Player of the Year out of South Carolina, the edge rusher, David Walker, Josiah Stewart, who is a little smaller, but he plays hard, plays with his hair on fire, edge rusher out of Michigan, Jack Sawyer, the other Ohio State edge rusher. So there's a lot of guys. I could just fire off a bunch of names. I'll just say like 5 wide receivers that I would like to see us take a look at. So I'll just narrow it down that way rather than just naming 10 guys. Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State, is he going to fall to pick 61? Probably not, but I would like to see him in the Commander's uniform. I think that would be a good pickup. Kyle Williams, I love his release. He can make guys miss in the phone booth. He has really good speed out of Washington State, the wide receiver. Jalen Royals is a dog out of Utah State. Ty Felton is more of a Saturday guy instead of a tonight pick. And then Alec Iamaner, I'm a little iffy on him. He did really well against Colorado. He had a big game in 2023. He had a good season this past year too. And Torrey Horton is more of a Saturday pick, day 3 guys too. So the wide receivers, like I said, Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams, Jaden Higgins if he drops to 61. Those are the 3 receivers that I'll say that I'm looking at. From the running back standpoint, if we draft a guy tonight, Caleb Johnson, he may drop. Let's see if he drops. You have to strongly consider it. Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State, you have to strongly consider. DJ Giddens. Bayshell Tootin is probably a day 3 guy, but hey, you never know how they feel. You never know how they feel about him. And then defensively, you look at the cornerback spot, Jacob Parrish from Kansas State. Darian Porter, is he going to fall to 61? We'll see. Most likely not. But, we'll see what happens there. He went to the Buccaneers at pick 53 in the mock draft that I did. Braden Swinson, I already talked about that. I already talked about him. And linebackers, let's see. Did the guy from UCLA get picked up? Carson Schwessinger, the linebacker that Adam Schefter said we had strong interest in. Is he going to drop? Shavon Revel, Azariah Thomas, Luther Burden. I would be so excited if he dropped. Nick Scorton could drop to 61. Matt Miller had a mock draft. He has Nick Scorton dropping to us. And I actually kind of like Nick Scorton. He had a good year with Purdue. I like him more than Shamar Stewart, to be honest with you. Donovan E is not going to drop to 61. I would love for that to happen, but that's not going to happen. Trey Harris is not going to drop to 61, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. Nick E, the safety, is not going to drop to 61, which is unfortunate. Trayvon Henderson is not going to drop. Will Johnson's not going to drop. Mike Green's not going to drop. So yeah, I mean, there's some guys that are really, really good that I do like that are not just, they're just not going to be there 61 most likely. They're just not. They're not going to be there. So that is unfortunate. But I think an edge rusher is going to be there 61 that they do have interest in. So that's good news there. And like I said, if they really, really like Kyle Williams or Jalen Royals, I would be happy with either of those two at 61. To be honest, I would be happy with one of those guys as well. So you guys comment, what guys do you really want to see Adam Peters pick at 61? Cliff Kingsbury was excited about the pick, and I'm a big Cliff fan. So if Cliff like Josh Connerly, then I'm riding with Cliff. Cliff certainly has a plan for him because Cliff did a heck of a job this past year. He had a little bit of slump. Like in that middle of the year, the middle of the season, it was a little slumpish. And then he proved a lot of the doubters wrong the way we finished in the playoffs and the way we finished the end of the year against the Falcons and the way we got into the playoffs, we finished strong. So if Cliff, wrote on that paper and Adam Peters picked it up and laughed and joked around and didn't joke around, but he laughed at the paper and then he seriously made the pick. And then he joked around after about it. Then yes, I'm with Cliff for making the pick. So I am on board for Josh Connerly now, seeing that Cliff was the influencer for it. But I still have some my concerns a little bit, but I'm definitely on board with the pick now after seeing Cliff wrote on the paper that he was for Josh Connerly. So, all right, guys, as always, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. I'm just too excited for the draft tonight. As always, you guys let me know what you guys think. Health Commanders. Peace.